Engin was commenting that in an arm wrestling match, wrist flexion is even more important than the use of the pronator. Krasimir said that it depends more on the style because there are arm wrestlers like Vitaly and Ongarbaev who don't use cupping as much, but rely on pronation.
In my opinion, the wrist flexion is the most important thing. First, the wrist handling, because at the start you need to be very strong here. If your wrist is already moving before the start, it will be hard to curl. You need to keep here everything strong to be able to curl. And this is the most important part, even more than pronator. You can, I mean, you can, but the more you lose your wrist, lesser the pronator you can use, you know.
Yeah, but depends on the style. Actually, depends on the style. There are some people like Ongarbaev, for example, and Vitaly also, that they are not using that much cupping, but more pronation, so much pronation. And
For Krasimir, Devon's wrist is not a 10 or 9.5 out of 10, as the East versus West card suggests, but rather a 7 out of 10, because Devon is not as good with his wrist as he is with his pronation. Engin disagreed because wrist strength is not the same as curling strength, and Devon almost never loses his wrist.
on that card, Devon's wrist is 10. In my
But
opinion,
in the heavyweight is 10, in the super heavyweight is 10.
I think so. In my
Hmm.
opinion, his wrist is 7, maybe.
7.
In my opinion, yes, he's not known for solid wrist. He's known for solid
No,
pronation.
no, but for me, the wrist is something that you remain like this. For me, the wrist power is not curling power. Wrist power is here or here. To
Yes,
not to lose the wrist is
yes, I
my
agree.
wrist power. Like you lose here is weak. You keep here it is like look at the first round with Levan versus Devon. I mean, it was not,
But the thing is that he's not curling. The thing is that
but he's not losing either.
but
Like
he's
for
just
me, do you know which one is for me? Two guys, they do back pressure. The one stay like this. He doesn't have to do this, but he's not losing the wrist. But also this I include the riser as well. Like
but
this area, the solidness of this area.
Devon stays straight and he just pronate. He doesn't curl at all.
I understand, but he doesn't lose the wrist often.
For Engin, Ermes's curls are stronger than Devon's, but Ermes's wrist failed against Devon. According to Krasimir, this happened because Ermes's back pressure and pronation were weaker than Devon's. Engin responded that for Levan, Ermes's arm was stronger than Devon's. But for Krasimir, pure back pressure is not as effective against someone like Devon.
Hermes curls much stronger than Devon. Like curling power is much
Yeah.
stronger. But
Yes,
once they both apply the back pressure, Hermes's wrist failed. Devon's
but
didn't fail.
but do you
So
know
for me,
why?
the start is what?
But this happens not because Hermes' wrist is weaker. This happens because Hermes' back pressure and pronation are weaker than Devon's.
No, Hermes's back pressure is stronger than Devon's. Just ask Levan. That is why he was able to hold him like this.
But
He's
his pronation is not that good. If they both do like this, if Hermes catch his hand with the
yeah,
other,
yeah, yeah. His wrist would fail. Uh,
no, I don't
yes,
agree.
yes. Hermes's back pressure is much stronger than. Do you follow their liftings? Do you see how much back pressure he applies? I mean, I even talked with Levan. He told me that like he is not worried about his arm. He said his arm, Devon's arm, is nothing close to Hermes's arm power.
And again, back
Yeah.
pressure, pronation are different stories because
Okay.
just pure back pressure is not that effective for somebody like Devon who is going like this. He gives the center, and this pure back pressure is fighting if the other one is posting.
According to Engin, Ermes improved his wrist and riser after his match with Devon, which helped him a lot in his fight against Vitaly. For Krasimir, Ermes' problem was his pronation. Krasimir gives the example that his wrist is stronger than Georgie's, but Georgie's arm power is greater.
After the training, good that he did that between his Devon match to the Laletin match. That is how he beat Laletin. If he was in the same condition with the hand and wrist, riser, everything against Laletin, he would lose that match too. Trust me. He barely didn't lose his hand and wrist. He was just
It
barely.
was not the wrist. The pronation was the problem. Have you seen Ermes pronation lift when he tried to copy Devon's lift? He's losing because his pronation is lacking, not the wrist. This is my opinion.
No, but what I'm just saying that it is like Devon didn't do this to Hermes. Hermes lost from his riser and everything. They just applied a little bit back pressure. Hermes's hand and wrist didn't handle his own back pressure. He just lost.
It's because he doesn't have pronation. He has super strong wrist and back pressure, but not pronation. If you lack pronation, you lose the wrist. I'm like this with my right arm when I go for top row. If I pull Georgi Tsvetkov like this, I beat him. Two hands versus two hands, I beat him. My wrist is stronger than his. But if I try to do it with one arm, I cannot do anything. Anything.
I mean, you talk about probably the strap, but whenever you apply this side of the strap is also unable in his wrist. Yeah,
No, no,
yeah, yeah,
doesn't.
yeah. You are not doing it because of you hold him and try to do like this. You will also lose your wrist. You just do that because of the so much pressure you put from here and neutralize his hand control.